Here we go.
Okay.
Hello, could you see
Yes.
my PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, then let me start from the first slide. I am going to make myself, okay, so here. All right, so welcome to my Instagram course. And this is based on an experiential learning. And my name is Megumi Yoshieda. I am from Nagoya, Japan. I teach university students. Okay, and this course has 3 targets because why is my sound echoing? I just wonder. Can you hear?
Yes.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yes.
So the first goal is digital skills because the name of this course is online articles and videos. And the second target, global skills. It is because this course is a part of liberal arts program in university, and usually the first year students select and come to this class. Now the third goal is English skills because this is a basic English course. And for the first goal, digital literacy, it will be learned by experiencing Instagram posting activities. And this is my class Instagram site. And we start from signing the consent form and being aware of image rights and others. If you would like to browse while you are listening to the Instagram site, you can go to Instagram and put hashtag NCU Green at Home or use this QR code. Okay. Okay. Then the second goal is to gain global skills. And by using SNS, I plan to nurture their global skills. These skills, according to Mercer, are to flourish as members of local, national, and global communities. And according to Yashima, she uses a different expression, which is international posture. And the definition is attitude toward the international community, which influences students' L2 motivation. And this motivation I would like to promote in my university students class. And the third skill is, yes, English output skills. I'm an English lecturer and I use 4 skills to promote their English skills. First, reading articles on the topic, which is growing plants. And then I have them take photos of the growth of the plants and they process the photos using English. Now, Instagram has the place you can write captions and hashtags. So I use caption writing and selecting hashtags that represent the visual messages to explore the English usage. And while doing these processes, they start to consider the audiences in the pandemic. Okay, then I'll go to the next style. Well, this course is based on experiential learning, and it was proposed by Cole. He set 4 stages in the cycle of experiential learning, and this is recursive. I started from here. Number 1, concrete experience. And the second stage is reflective observation. Third stage, abstract concept. And fourth stage, active experimentation. After active experimentation, you go back to another concrete experience. Okay, this is what I just explained. And in this project, it can be translated to the first stage, growing plants and posting on Instagram. And then we proceed to think about the audience, and you become audience too. And they become aware of the different views. Now, after posting and having reactions from audience, they think about their global messages. How could they convey their messages? What was the meaningful message? And then they go and think about the next project, next topic. They select the next topic and they start the concrete experience again. The merit of Kolb's experiential learning is that it's inclusive of various learning styles. And Kolb first started from 4 learning styles, but many researchers added ideas, and now it has 9 learning styles, including in experiential learning. Well, in my class, I have art, science, pharmacy, medical, nursing, business, architecture, and humanities students. And here are 2 examples of their work. As you can see, this photo has a very fancy design. And this is one of my science students who created this photo. And then she wrote a very detailed caption. I'd like to introduce this with detailed episode. Well, this person failed to grow Mizuna on week 1 and week 2, and then she changed the plant to pea sprout. This one is the one, and she said she finally ate them. So this is a very nice episode. And then this is the second work by another student. She is from nursing department. And as you can see, compared with the first student, this photo is, well, maybe a less fancy in design, but the good point about her posting is that there are various kinds of hashtags. She selected sunny lettuce, and in her episode, she said sunny lettuce once died out, so she had to replant. Then she could have some harvest. And she thought of some social issue, so she put with Corona and stay home in hashtag. So the people who are interested in these issues can reach her post. And then she selected 2 other science keywords. And this one, NCU Green at Home, is I already introduced, but this class Instagram site. So students use this hashtag to post properly, and I can see their posting by using this hashtag. So to sum up, Smith said that David Kolb's core activity includes experience and making sense. And since these 2 activities are essential, it can involve the different styles of learning. Okay? And thank you for listening. Here are the references that I used and I may be using during the discussion. Now it's time for open discussion, and I really would welcome your opinions. And the topic is Instagram to nurture global citizens and plans for resilience. Here are 3 suggested topics, but it doesn't limit your discussion. But the first topic can be merits and demerits of Instagram. Second topic would be experiential project that can promote positive psychology. Any idea? And then the third topic is the core part of Kolb's cycle, maybe the part that students reflect. So what kind of questions are appropriate to help students reflect? Okay, please join the discussion.
Sorry, Megumi, can I ask another question very quickly? I came in just a couple minutes late, and you may have talked about this at the beginning. I might have missed it, but how did you land on plants as your to connect with resilience? How did you first come up with that? I'm sorry if I missed that.
No, I didn't talk about that. Thank you.
Okay.
That's a very good question.
Where did that come from? Yeah,
it's a core question. Well, you know, I love space, And this course is on science and English. And so I usually introduce students NASA blog and ISS. And in ISS, there was an astronaut who was growing zucchini. And he wrote a blog and he said, the zucchini's growth is healing him. He is staying in ISS for maybe 6 months, 7 months, very confined place, but the growth of the plants really calmed his mental down, healed his feeling. So I thought maybe that can be a similar situation during the pandemic. And so I decided to have them grow plants.
Sorry to interrupt. If we're into discussion, can I suggest you maybe want to stop sharing your screen, Megumi, so we can all see each other a little bit more if we're talking.
All right. Yes, I will do
It might
that.
be friendlier for a discussion, that's all.
Okay. So I stop.
No, maybe thank you very much for explaining that. That makes a lot of sense. When we went under quarantine last year, my wife, we started growing plants here at home for the first time. Yeah, she's growing chili peppers, and now this year we're starting the second, going for it a second time. And it really did help us it gave us something to kind of feel good about, something to nurture, something to grow. We had a kind of a rough year, and it was just it was really nice. So but I never would have considered bringing that into the classroom. So very interesting.
I actually think it's a great idea too. I only did herbs last year, but this year I've got courgettes and I've just got butternut squashes that have just come up, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And it is literally the only thing that's keeping me happy in between classes is going out there and seeing my plants are growing.
Yeah, that's true. Harvesting is another lovely moment.
I'm hoping.
Enjoy. Yeah.
We could probably just have a whole gardening breakout room somewhere. It's probably enough of us.
Yeah,
so
but
thank you very much.
Is good because young children wouldn't, I think students, I would not think of that as a good thing to do at 18 for my mental health, but I think actually it really is.
Well, yeah, university students first thought, growing plants? I've never been doing that since elementary school, they said, especially boys, but they really enjoyed. They woke up, they told me that they woke up early in the morning to see the plant and watering them. And so, yeah, it was good for their daily habit too.
I got a follow-up question.
My
to that.
question.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Well, that was one of my questions. I wanted to know the reactions of the students, and they. So you might have had a spectrum, I guess, of people or students kind of resisting a bit. But so can you talk a little bit about maybe the resistors or the ones who really took to it right away? Because all of our students are different, right? So
yes,
I'm interested in your particular class.
Yes. Well, we have, as I said, we have a variety of students. And first, when I introduced this project, they said,
right.
And, yeah. And it was very troublesome, they thought. But I made it very simple. I told them just open the fridge and find some seeds, maybe a grapefruit seed or any vegetable root can be fine. So I didn't want them to go out, just ask them to open the milk carton and use as a pot and put some soil. Just go a little bit outside and have some soil and add it. And then they gradually did it well. And one good thing is that we did group work. So group members helped really well with each other. And we posted on the Instagram so they can see their work and they compare with other friends' work. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. They compare their plant growth. And sometimes they feel really anxious because their plant is less growing than others. And then they talk with group members. What should I do? And some guys will say, you can buy this liquid nutrition and add it to the pot. So there were many ideas coming in. And they also learned how to thin out. And they learned the word thin out, thin out to take away some of them. So it was good for science knowledge, also for resilience, also for group work, and also for eating.
So the harvesting. So
Yes.
how many students were there in the class?
20 per class, but I had 2 classes. I usually have 2 classes, first period, second period. So they all can see other classes work too.
Also, okay.
Yeah, that's a good, sorry.
No, go ahead. You said that's a good what?
Yeah, that's a good point of putting on Instagram, because
Yes.
everyone can see other people's work.
Yes.
And also the former students' work. They can browse former students' work. And so it's a really good reference.
I see. Yes, that is a good idea. Okay. So now I forgot what I was going to say. It's okay. It'll come back.
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
I had one more question about that, kind of along the same lines. You know, you and I, I've been growing things, and you want to connect this with resilience and positive psychology and all that. But one thing I've learned about growing plants is, like, a lot of the time it just doesn't work. Did you have any students that just had bad experiences? Nothing they tried was working. What did they take away from that? The students whose plants just for some reason didn't take.
Yes. So appreciating nature means we see many kinds of observation. See, and as I showed in the PowerPoint, there were 2 works shown, but both students had to replant because one plant wasn't working, and the other student, maybe some student forgot to water and they dried out. Yeah, it happens really many times. But then they help each other as a group, and they see other students who are successful, and then they buy that seed, that kind of seed, like sprout or radish sprout. Those are the easy ones, or mizuna. And so they tried. And some anxious students were really ready for a problem. So one student tried 5 or 6 kinds from week 1 so that she could be successful in one plant, but she was actually successful in all those kinds. So her photo is a mixture of many kinds of plants.
That's exactly what I was saying, that, every class will have such different students. And it's so interesting, I think, as the instructor, to see the variety of responses, and because I think it does show the individuality, right? They're thinking. Yeah.
I got amazed with that idea.
And so when did you come up with this idea? So you had a class before?
Well, last year when the pandemic started.
Okay, so it's because of the pandemic that actually this took root.
Yes. As Japanese school year starts in April, and that's when we started Zoom class. So I was thinking, I read the blog, NASA blog, and I thought of doing this.
Yeah, that's great. Because there are a lot of scientific studies saying, that even just seeing greenery around, of course, maybe the little plants is maybe not quite enough, but still the idea of, there's something in the brain that signals that. Also with soil, there's something with soil that kind of stimulates.
Yeah, I just listened to the podcasts about touching the mud.
Yes.
Yeah, the effect of touching the mud. Yes, it promotes our mental health.
So do you have any suggestions about how to use this in, say, other classes?
In other classes?
Any ideas?
I focus on science, but it doesn't have to be science, because using Instagram is a really good way. Well, they need to be careful. There are some risks, and they see some naughty pages also. But I keep on telling the students that it's like browsing the web page. So you focus on the educational purpose.
Do you think it could be used as not as the main thing, but as a supplementary?
Yes, as I said, it's going to be a really good reference. And if you keep on teaching the course year by year, and the reference will accumulate, so the students can refer to all the good examples, bad examples, and I see students' work getting improved year by year.
I see. And so then, do you participate as well? Because the instructor should also be a model.
Yes, yes. I have many of my Mizuna is growing so well, and avocado seed, it grows really well.
I have never been able to grow an avocado seed. Never.
Seed. It's great.
So what's your secret?
Well, learning from Instagram, other.
Oh, okay. I have to go to Instagram. Yeah. So you have been successful. When did you start your avocado seed?
Well, for this class, I think last summer, last spring, and now it's more than 50 centimeter high.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Yes.
It was a lockdown challenge to grow an avocado, apparently.
Wow.
My parents told me.
Yeah, but it's not suitable for this classwork because it needs longer time.
Yes.
The avocado is for a very patient student.
Yeah. So there again, you can find different types of students.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm the student who kills everything.
Well, I don't know. You said you had some, courgettes or something growing?
Yes.
No,
there are disasters though.
I think I'm the one that will take that prize because I actually learned from a junior high school student. He did the sustainable development goals and he grows them. It's like hydroponics. Oh. And so I was following him, and now he had lettuce just growing out of their ears and all kinds of different, and mine just, it sprouted nicely, but then it, wasn't even a quarter of an inch, and then it just stopped growing and eventually died. So seeing this, I think I will try again, but as the instructor, I'm not sure if I would be a good person.
Oh, well, but I always tell students, you don't have to be successful because it's nature. And if it dries out, you can take a photo of that and just write an episode or just think about the why it happened. And you can write down that as a caption, and it's going to be an interesting post. So some of them did so. Yeah, that's nature.
I had to miss some of the discussion. Sorry, I was letting people into rooms and things. But have you thought of any other ideas for a positive psychology project for maybe like this year or after COVID?
Well, yeah, positive psychology. Well, I usually use conversation strategies to have them talk fluently. So, yeah, implementing wow, amazing, and happy feelings, or smiley faces, or drawing fancy, happy faces. Those kind of work I try to implement in small sections in the lesson. But stay-at-home period is extending. So this year I am doing the Green at Home project again in a less strict way, without format, because they can refer to the former students' post.
Yeah. Yes, that should be good for any students resisting, because they'll see the success of previous students. And so then they know they can do it.
Yes. Yeah, I was amazed with art students, because some of the art students decorated and processed the photo very nicely. And some other student had the idea of putting mascot character next to the plant.
Yeah, so I think it must be enjoyable to see the variety of not only the plants, but how they photograph, right?
Yes, how they decorate, how they demonstrate, and how they write captions. how
Yeah.
to select the hashtags. So it's very good for vocabulary enhancing too.
So I guess that follows very well after the plenary talk about task-based lessons, because it's definitely a task, right, that you said,
Yes.
and then the results are very positive. Whether, as you say, whether a student is not so successful, they try again. I like the
Yes.
idea of the student who was worried, and so they tried 7 or 6 or 7. I think that's amazing. I think that's great. And all of them succeeded, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So that's, yeah, I think from your point of view, I think it must be so interesting to see the variety of responses and personalities.
Yes, it was very interesting.
Are you writing this down? Are you writing about your students?
Oh, yes, I am trying to.
Good.
Yes, thank you so much, Donna.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.